All right, so today, Hall class, I consider this one of my coups. I got Dave and Stephanie Alexander here with us today to be able to tell all the long-lost history of the ward, I guess.
Oh, that's funny.
All right, let's start with Steph. So, Stephanie, where did you grow up? And tell us a little bit about your family.
Okay, I grew up in Westlake Village, and I moved to Utah in high school.
Oh, that would be terrible.
Oh, yeah, it was terrible.
Yeah.
And then, what else?
So you graduated, so you grew up in Westlake.
And then I moved to, and it was my sophomore year, I started at East High School in Salt Lake City. And I graduated in 1986.
Well, you don't need to tell everybody how old you are, but if you want to, that's fine.
Okay, well, it's already out there. So what else?
What'd you like to do growing up?
Ski, motorcycles, and hang out with my family.
Cool.
They were all into recreational sports. They couldn't throw a ball,
Right.
run really, but great at snow skiing, water skiing.
Oh, yeah. We grew up with a
motorcycle
boat.
riding.
We used to go water
Yep.
skiing once or twice a week. And
That's kind of fun.
yeah.
Tell us about your parents and your siblings. Like, how many siblings you got?
I have two brothers and a mom and dad.
What did mom and dad do?
My mom was a stay-at-home mom, and my dad, he, what did he do? He worked in business. I don't know. He was like the president of Utah Symphony, but just the business side of it. And he did a consulting firm to help, like Utah markets that were leaving, and he'd help get them resumes and.
Interesting. So, did you really hate leaving Westlake for Salt Lake?
I hated it. I cried all the way to Utah.
I would too.
And I said, I'm moving back to California, marrying someone from California, which look what I did.
That worked out. That was a good plan.
Yeah,
That was a
cried
good
all
plan.
the way.
So after high school, what'd you do? You head off to college?
Yes, I went to University of Utah, and I graduated in sociology.
All right.
And what else did I do?
What'd you like doing at the U?
Skiing. I skied a lot, and I rock climbed, and I took like a sailing class, and
How do you take a sailing class in Salt Lake?
Up at Deer Creek.
Oh,
you could
okay.
Sail. Like I did a boating class and then a windsurfing class, and
You really check the box for like every outdoor sport, huh?
yeah, I like that.
That's
Like
cool.
being outside.
That's cool. All right, Dave, so tell us about where you grew up, and we've all probably heard it, but do it again.
So I grew up in here in San Diego, and actually in Rancho Santa Fe, born and raised. My dad's from LA, or my mom's from LA. My dad's from Phoenix, so they kind of picked San Diego as a happy medium. They had a place down in San Diego. This is in the 60s. And one Sunday they went for a drive, and my dad found Rancho Santa Fe. And my mom said, I'll never move out to the country. So behind my mom's back, my dad went like the next week and bought a lot in Rancho. And then they built a house there, and I think we probably moved in there in probably 68, 69 kind of thing. So I've been here all my life. One of 11 kids. I'm right in the middle, 5 older, 5 younger. I actually feel like kind of the lucky one because I was kind of old enough to be with the oldest and young enough to be with the youngest. So it was kind of a good spot to be in. So.
Now, we've heard lots of stories about you guys growing up out there in the ranch and all the chores you have to do.
Yeah.
Tell us like one of the most difficult chore experiences you guys had.
Well, yeah, so my dad was all about work, and he wanted us to have a work ethic. So every Saturday morning, he'd wake us up at like 6 a.m. and we'd work in the yard all day, and fences and cut grass and fix pipe and take care of the horses and all the stuff that people think sounds fun. It's not fun. And then, my dad bought a ranch in the central part of Utah. Kind of in the 70s. He always wanted to be a cowboy, but unfortunately for us, the weekend school got out. We were up at the ranch working all summer until the weekend school started. So that wasn't that fun. Although what you kind of learn in that situation is that you have to learn how to have fun while you're working. So that was kind of a good thing that we learned. But up at 5 a.m. every day until dark every day, and so that was kind of our
A lot of times you were up there without your parents.
Yeah. We went up there a lot without our parents, and so that was an adventure too, trying to defend yourself against older siblings and stuff.
No parental supervision.
Yeah.
Now tell everybody the name of it, because we took the boys up there for a scout trip.
Yeah, so now we have it's still a working ranch. We have buffalo there and cows. My dad built a bed and breakfast lodge there in the late 1990s, I think. No.
Yes.
It was in the
Mid
1990s. So bed and breakfast there now. It's a 15-room lodge. It's called the Lodge at Red River Ranch.
Teasdale.
Yeah.
Teasdale.
In Wayne County.
One little restaurant.
Yeah. It's by Capitol Reef National Park. So that's the kind of if anybody's heard of that. So
It's pretty.
And I remember when we went by there, I saw, there'd been a few, famous people kind of cruise by on their bikes, like George Clooney or somebody like that.
There's some people that kind of discover that place, but it's high. It's at like 7,000 feet, and you and I, we took the scouts out there one summer for at least I think a week, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that was fun.
It was.
Yeah,
a lot of the boys still say that was their favorite trip.
Yeah, that was super fun.
Yeah, it's cool. So, did you play sports growing up or anything?
I did, yeah. So, we played at Rancho Santa Fe, and then I was kind of the dummy in the family. So my dad sent me to Francis Parker, and so there, everybody played sports because you didn't have enough student bodies. So
Well, maybe you couldn't throw a ball. Maybe you.
yeah. So I played all the sports, growing up and stuff. We had back then it was 8-man football instead of 11-man. So that's how small.
Oh
the school
yeah.
was.
Yeah, some of the small schools do that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
So it was super. It was super fun.
All right, each of you tell me like a favorite high school memory, either like an embarrassing thing or great highlight or some fun high school memory.
Yeah, I can't remember that long ago. Yeah. For me, one of my, it's not a really great memory, but we were in the CIF football team in the CIF championship, and I got burned twice. But then in the last seconds, I got burnt at the very end of the game. Somebody scored threw a touchdown over my man, and but I have a good friend who threw a last minute touchdown. So he still to this day he always gives me crap for having to bail him out. Bail me out.
He bailed you out.
Yeah.
He threw it to who?
That was Mark Sherman. Yeah, he threw it to. I think his name was Trevor.
Oh.
But anyways, yeah.
And you won?
Yeah, we won.
Well, that's a good
Yeah,
one.
and I tried to lose the game as best I could.
Somebody bribed him to take a fall.
You take a fall.
Yeah. How about you, Steph? You got any story?
Oh, I don't think I have any stories that I can think of.
Steph used to they had seminary off campus,
Mm-hmm.
right? So she'd always ditch and go to 7-Eleven and buy a Snickers and a Coke.
Smart.
Across
No,
the street.
we bought nachos and
Oh,
not a Coke
Nachos.
and not Snickers.
7-Eleven,
And peanut M&Ms.
7-Eleven
peanut
nachos.
M&Ms.
Yes.
Oh,
it was
those are
like across the
nasty.
street,
Yeah.
and then you get a Diet Coke.
Well, that's a good question. Okay, what was your favorite candy growing up?
Peanut M&Ms.
All right, how about you, Dave?
Yeah, probably Snickers. They had a pharmacy they still do, in
Yeah.
Rancho Santa Fe.
Yeah.
And I used to take $1 there and buy 3 candy bars and 2 little small candies almost every day. I was a little sugar daddy.
That's
Me too.
awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. All right. So I know that you did sociology at the U. Dave, what'd you do after high school?
So I went to BYU Hawaii for a semester, and then my friend Chad Holder, who I grew up with here in San Diego, we went out to Israel, study abroad. It was a 6-month program back then, and that's where I met Stephanie.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm.
So
you guys met in Israel, huh? Same trip.
yeah.
That's awesome.
Steph was out there with a bunch of her University of Utah friends with a handful.
There's like probably 10 of us.
Yeah.
Were you still in school at the time?
I was 20.
All right, so tell us about meeting Dave. We're all curious. Like,
He was 18.
Yeah.
He
was
was
18.
just a kid.
Was a
So,
punk.
yeah.
Yeah.
what did you think when you first saw him, or how did you guys become attached?
We just kind of had the same classes.
Yeah, we had the same
Old
classes.
Testament, so we were
Yeah.
on the bus together. And then we had New Testament, which we were on the bus, so we were just kind of always together. And he liked all my friends.
Yeah, she had some cool friends. Yeah, some really fun friends that I kind of started hanging out with, kind of her crowd. Yeah. So what happened with us though is that my friend Chad, who I went out there with, we somehow got separated into different classes, and so I didn't see, even though I was Chad's roommate, we were kind of in a different group. So I started hanging out with Steph and her group. So that's how we kind of started hanging out. Yeah.
So I know they kind of got the rules when you're over there in Jerusalem. Were you officially dating over there? Or you just kind of got to know each other there.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we didn't go on a date.
Yeah.
We didn't like go.
We just hung out quite a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then you guys
Same group.
get back, and then you guys get serious.
Well, you had to go on a mission.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I had to go on a mission.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to go on a mission, and then I didn't hear for after first 6 months. Then I stopped hearing from her, so I knew she had moved on. I got a boyfriend and stuff. So, yeah, which was fun.
But no official Dear John, so there's still
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Steph's way of doing it. Just ignore somebody, and they'll go away.
Ghosting before there was ghosting.
That's
I
right.
gotcha.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
Now tell us about your mission, Dave.
Yeah, so I was actually called to the Mexico City's mission, and then probably about a month before I was going in the MTC, there was a lot of turmoil in Colombia, so they moved a lot of missionaries around, and so a month before I went into then I got called to the Dominican Republic. I didn't even know where that was. I just knew they had a lot of baseball players there. Yeah. So went down to the Dominican, and it was a good mission. Yeah.
What years were you there?
I was there around Grant Fry's time.
Was he there?
Yeah. So I went on my mission in '89.
Okay.
Yeah.
But then he came home because he got sick. He got a parasite.
Everybody in the DR does.
Yeah, but he was in the hospital for 3 weeks.
Yeah, my brother-in-law was there 91-ish,
Oh.
maybe 92. Same thing.
He was in the hospital.
Yeah.
Just lost 50 pounds.
Yep, nasty.
It's like
It's I mean, everybody. It happens to most people that go.
Yeah.
Then he went to New Jersey.
Yeah, I finished my mission in New Jersey. Yeah, which was probably more of a culture shock than
This- Meet any mafioso?
Well, yeah, I mean, we were in Jersey City and stuff, and that was that was definitely a culture shock for me. Yeah, no doubt about it.
What did you learn on your mission?
I think what was interesting is that my first kind of experience with missions was actually my trip in Israel, because you kind of get to know people that you wouldn't have hung out with before, and you learn to really actually love different people that you would never hang out with. So that was a good start for me and my mission, and I think the big thing for me was just of just how good people are around the world, and we met a lot of good people. We didn't teach that much out of the scriptures because a lot of them couldn't read. So, but people were receptive, and they're just humble, just good people. So that's the thing I probably learned the most, is just really to love people and their cultures, and everybody has a different story. Everybody comes from a different background, so you just really try to get in somebody's shoes and just kind of just find out what they're all about.
Relating to them.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
All right. So while he's on a mission, what were you up to,
I
Steph?
was in school.
Still finishing?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then when I graduated, I think when he got home, he went to BYU Hawaii, but we still kind of kept in contact. So even though he said I stopped writing him, we still kind of kept in contact. So.
Now, did you go from Hawaii up to Provo?
Yeah, actually, I went to when I got back, I went back to BYU Hawaii. Was there for a couple of semesters.
Were you there 2 semesters or just 1?
1 or 2, and then I did transfer to Provo. Yeah. So went to Provo, got into the communications, into the broadcasting program, which is BYU is actually one of a unique program because it has its own cable station, KBYU. So you get, live experience and stuff. So that was fun. Yeah, that was super fun. I wanted to be a sports broadcaster.
But he was really, really good at the weather.
Yeah.
Seriously, you did the weather on the show?
Well, we would do
But
everything.
he was actually really good.
But yeah, they said you just need to get in the weather, not sports.
Because when he was sports, he'd get so excited. And you know how they sit so still, and he'd get so excited and wiggle.
So what made him so good? Sounds like you watched him do the weather.
I did. He'd bring home tapes.
Yeah.
That's funny. How did you guys reconnect, Steph?
My dad, he passed away in 92, and then he kind of started reaching out more. And I feel like it was like during that period of time we started kind of getting closer. And then, yeah.
All right, so I don't want Dave to answer this. I'm really, really curious. How did David propose to you?
At the we were at his ranch in Teasdale.
Okay.
And outside looking at the stars, and I don't know, he just kind of did then.
Did he get on a knee, or he just kind of leans over like, hey, you want to get married or what?
Yeah, he didn't get on a knee. That's not his style.
No.
Not for anybody.
Did he have a ring?
He had a bracelet.
Oh, okay.
Because I wanted a certain ring, and so yeah, I didn't have the ring, but I had a bracelet. So.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
When were you guys married?
In 94.
Up in Utah or where?
Yeah, in Salt Lake City Temple.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And after you guys were married, why don't you tell everybody, maybe Dave, tell us where your career kind of took you after you guys were married and what you did first, and then we can get to second.
Yeah, so I still had a year left of school. I was kind of on that BYU 12-year program. But, Steph had been out of school for several years, so it was kind of time for me to grow up. So,
what were you doing for work during that time?
I was working in Salt Lake at a computer consulting firm, and I was doing recruiting for them.
Oh, cool.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like the HR route.
Yeah, so they would have like a company, and they needed certain computer programmers, and we would hook them up, and so
Interesting.
that's what I did.
All right.
Yeah.
I distracted you, Dave. Go
No,
ahead.
it's all right. So after I got out of college, moved back to San Diego and started working for Cobra Golf. That was shocking for me because it was a kind of a 9-to-5. They had a new inside sales program that I got into, but it was more of a 9-to-5 job, and I was thinking, oh my gosh, this is the rest of my life. It's just 9 to 5. So I was only there for about a year and a half, and then I bailed out, started a company with saltwater chlorinators, and that didn't go very well.
It was tough.
Yeah, it was hard. Yeah.
We were living with his parents at the time. We were married and living with his parents.
Yeah, well, that was stupid, but yeah, there's nothing.
I learned a lot.
Yeah,
I did learn. I learned how to do laundry.
I'm sure. A lot of laundry.
Yeah. Linda taught me
Yeah.
well.
So anyways, just life's all about timing. One of the guys who I hooked up with that helped me start this company, he was a San Diegan who had been working for Aloha Airlines out in Hawaii. And he kind of started telling me, hey, there's going to be a pilot shortage. So I was just trying to make money with this business. I got back into aviation. I got my pilot's license when I was younger just because my dad had a small little plane. So I started getting into aviation and started, trying to get my commercial license and moving up in that way. And I never really loved flying. I just wanted to do it for the job, for the lifestyle kind of thing. So anyways, over the next couple of years, just kind of worked in the aviation business. I got a job in St. George flying old 1960s Beechcraft. They had a contract with the U.S. Mail. So in late afternoon, we would load up the plane and drop off to St. George and up to Provo, and then get back to St. George at like anywhere from 3 to 5 o'clock in the morning. So job sucked, but needed some experience, and then we got a job out in Hawaii for Aloha Airlines. So
Year after that.
yeah. So, just great timing. We thought we'd be out in Hawaii for 30 or 40 years, and we moved out there with a young baby. Had all of our boys over there, right? Had 3 boys over in Hawaii.
We got pregnant like right when we got there.
Yeah, that was brutal. Yeah. No, I mean, in aviation and in that industry, your first year is like your quote-unquote probation year, so they don't pay you anything.
Like $12,000.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
No, what?
It was like $12,000.
No, it wasn't.
Maybe 13.
No.
Yes,
it was like 25.
No, it wasn't.
You're insane. It
No,
wasn't
it
that
was
low.
25, even if it was 25, that's peanuts.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
weren't. Yeah, I was working.
It was
Especially if
very
you live in
much.
Hawaii.
Yes.
Yeah, I was cleaning pools part time just to make
He's
ends
really
meet.
good at cleaning.
Yeah, I know everything about pools. So yeah, that's how I got into aviation, and we were expanding at the time, and so I was able to make captain just a few years after I got there, and it was Steph and I were living the dream. When we would sometimes be sitting on the beach, we would say, "This can't last forever," because I was working half the month, and we had a young
It's a
family,
great place
and
to have babies.
yeah, and of course we jinxed it. It didn't last forever.
No.
How long did you guys do that?
We were over there for a little over 8 years, I think. And then.
So I'm curious about perspective. So you mentioned the lifestyle. I think it's probably still fairly similar today. What's the lifestyle of a pilot?
That's a good question. It always depends on the type of routes that you are bidding for. When I first got there, I was just doing inter-island. So I was home every night working maybe 16, 17 days a month. And then I started doing mainland routes. So you're pretty much gone half the month, which is not great. But at the same token, when you're home full time. So that's
The schedule is
the
different every month, so sometimes he's pretty much gone 2 nights and a full day, like 2 half days,
Yeah.
and then so like he'd leave Tuesday at 11 and be home Thursday at 11.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, pilots, they can max out at 80 hours a month.
So
Okay.
Right?
like
I mean, that's
I got used to life with him home, and then used to like without him home.
Okay.
yeah.
So just with the kids, you
Yeah.
kind of had a.
That was the best. That was the closest Steph and I were, because I was gone half the month, right? Get home and she could tolerate me for a few days, and then she'd kick me out and go back to work. So
Were the schedules like 3 days on, 4 days off, or was it like you were doing like a week and a
It's
week off?
random.
no,
It
I mean it was
random.
so what you could do. What's really cool about the aviation industry is that you can lump trips together, so you can work several days in a row, and then have one day off and work several more days. And if you make your schedule, you almost can have like a whole month off in a row.
You never did that.
Yeah, we did that sometimes when we were trying to vacation.
Oh,
Yeah, but
you didn't do it very often.
yeah. So I mean, it's an interesting different. I mean, it's like any probably traveling lifestyle, right? A lot of hotel. Like I said, I never loved the business, so you're up there 6 hours doing absolutely nothing. I read a lot of books.
So tell everybody. So when we're up there in the air,
Yeah.
it's pretty much on autopilot.
Well,
isn't it?
yeah, no. So yeah, autopilot is kind of one of those things where you program the computer of what you're doing, right? Your departure route, and what altitude you're going to, and legitimately you can push the autopilot button on at like 800 feet after takeoff. So after that, you don't even touch the controls. I like to get a little stick and rudder, so a lot of times I would just hand fly it until altitude of 35 or 40,000 feet, whatever you're going to. But it's now just pushing buttons, really. So yeah, we would get up there, and yeah, you're on autopilot, and we're really doing up front what you guys are doing what everybody was doing in the back. And so you really, every about hour, you've got to make a call out to your company or and just tell them where you're at, and how much fuel you have, because that's the big thing with flying is fuel, right? So how much fuel you have, and but other than that, right, we're up there, not to freak anybody out, but a lot of times we black out the windshield, right? So it's dark and people are sleeping up there, and headphones on, watching movies, just really passing the time. Really is what you're doing, because there's literally nothing to do. So yeah, I read a lot of books. Yeah,
Just
so
waiting for
that's
bells
it.
and whistles to go off and tell you you need to do something.
Yeah, I mean, it's like
We did have an engine go out.
well, yeah, I mean, that's a story for another day. But that's like a lot of businesses. Like you never want to see a pilot working hard because that means something's wrong happening, right? So the less we're working, the better off it is for everybody. Yeah. So
Any little trade secrets that you guys know from the flying industry that's interesting for people to hear about?
I would say this is, which I always think is funny, is that they tell you to turn your cell phones off. That I don't know why they do that. That's just
I don't either. I'm curious.
And the other thing,
It's
there's no
no
reason. We have our cell phones on and we're trying to talk to people, when we're flying in and out, saying, hey, we're almost there or whatever. But cell phone doesn't work out when you're up 3,000 or 4,000 feet anyways. So whether it's on or off, you can't use it. So that's kind of bogus, that whole thing.
How about you, Steph? You learn anything from him flying or flying with him?
Not really.
So when you get on flights now, other people are flying.
Yeah.
Are you attentive to something that
Crying babies.
Yeah.
Yeah, because people would be so mean to me about my crying babies. So
Yeah.
I feel very protective of that for other people.
Oh,
I feel so
yeah,
bad.
yeah.
I do have a lot of sympathy for the crying babies.
Yeah.
Moms have to handle it.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
So then things wind up with the Aloha Airlines. You guys wind up coming back here to San Diego, I remember, right?
Yeah.
What did you guys do after that?
So, we moved back. We moved to Oceanside for a year, and then we moved back down to Solana Beach. And I have a good friend. He used to be in our ward, lived in Rancho, Ted Johnson, who I tried to start a couple of businesses with that failed. I basically was giving myself 2 years to try to be an entrepreneur. Before we even tried that, we were thinking of, we were like 99% chance of moving to China. Most of my friends were, problem with aviation, it's based on seniority. So if you start, with Southwest or Delta, you're starting the ground zero. If you go international, they hire based on experience. So most of my friends went to China, Japan.
Because they could fly as a
Dubai.
captain.
Right. Yeah. So I was getting 2 years. So long story short, tried a couple of businesses, didn't work out, and then finally got into another business of that's worked out. Lucky timing, being in the right place at the right time, and so yeah, we've been able to stay here in San Diego. It's been great.
That's cool. You like San Diego or Hawaii more, Steph?
Ooh, I like San Diego.
Good answer. I mean, Hawaii's
Yeah.
great too.
Yeah, Hawaii's good, and it was great to be there. And there's so many good memories. And when we go back once a year, and it feels like home.
Yeah.
Which area? I know you're on Oahu. Which area of the island did you guys
We
live?
were on the windward side. We were in Kaneohe for 4 years, and then Kailua for 4.
Yeah.
What's people go there on vacation. I don't know if they imagine living there. What's it like living there as compared to vacationing there?
It's a small town, and people are. It's just small town, and people thought that when you live in Hawaii, like, oh, look at you live in Hawaii, you get to, go to the beach every day, and you're like, yeah, but you still have like bathrooms to clean and food to make, and you still have your ordinary stuff going on, but the weather's nice, and the kids really enjoyed the weather. It was good for them, and like Max didn't even know how to wear pants. The first time he wore pants, he was like kept kicking his legs, like, what are these? And my kids would like call their sweatshirts their jackets, and just little funny things. But
What was church like in Hawaii?
we lived in 2 different wards, and one of the wards was very family oriented, and it had been there forever. And I felt like the Delmar ward, like everyone wanted to be in that ward, and we were in there, and it just was really nice. But it was very local because we were in Kaneohe, and then we were in Kailua ward, and that was more military. I would bet 80% military.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot.
80%.
Few
So there were a
locals,
lot of
yeah.
young families
And
and
then
young
in and
couples.
out a lot.
Yeah, and so we were in our 30s, and we were like the old people of
Mm.
the ward. We were like the elderly couple. So it was fun. It was great. Like I can't.
Yeah.
It was a great
Why
experience.
is your needs and wants are very different over there. Nobody, even if you have money, nobody necessarily has a big house because you don't spend time in the house. Nobody really has expensive cars because, I mean, there are some that are over there, but most people just have beaters because you can go 30 miles an hour. So when we left, we literally packed all our kids' clothes in like one duffel bag, right? Just because you have shorts and t-shirts and flip-flops and literally that's it. So that's the good thing about it is your needs and wants are it's a very easy lifestyle for sure.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you, some of your favorite things. So now you've been around here in this area. Do you have favorite restaurants you guys like to go to?
Yeah, we do.
Are you going to tell me what they are? Keep it a secret?
Yeah, we're going to keep it a secret. I don't know. We're not really fancy, so I think we like Fish District and...
We like El Pueblos. Yeah, I mean, any Mexico. We go to Fidel's. I grew up with Fidel's.
I love Fidel's.
Fidel's over Tony Jacall?
Yeah, that's
Yes,
when you're
I
local
like
here.
Fidel's.
I
yeah.
choose Fidel's.
Right.
Yes.
But a lot of locals, right, are Tony Jacall. So, we grew up with Fidel's.
Mm-hmm.
And when I would go out with the Holders, they would go to Tony's. So,
Oh,
yeah.
fighting words.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's, yeah. But, no, we
I-
just do local stuff, in and out, you know.
And nothing.
Yeah, Rubio's.
Favorite date night around here? What's a typical date night for you guys?
Like last night, we went to Rubio's.
We went to Rubio's and then we got a ice cream cone at McDonald's.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, that's pretty typical date night. Yeah,
I'm not opposed.
yeah, it's pretty
no.
fancy.
Rubio's is a little
Yeah.
All right.
dirty.
Favorite movie?
Oh, I like that movie, with Vince Vaughn, Be Cool.
Oh, that's your favorite movie?
Be Cool?
It's a really good movie. Yes.
It's rated R, so.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah.
I'm sure she saw it on Vid Angel.
Yeah.
Okay, Devil Wears Prada.
Oh, that's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. How about you, Dave?
Favorite movie is The Natural.
Ooh, wow, that's old school.
Yeah, it's old school. Yeah, I mean it's a good story. It's baseball. It's got tragedy. It's got a good love story.
It's got Robert Redford.
Yeah, it's good.
Got Robert Redford.
Robert Redford. Yeah.
How about favorite book? Not scripture, favorite book.
I like The Nightingale.
Huh, okay.
So if it's fiction, it would be The Born Identity. I think that is
Like the original one?
yeah,
That was
it's a good book.
It is good.
Nonfiction would probably be John Adams. It's one of my favorite books.
He read it like 5 times.
I remember my dad gave me The Born Identity in high school to read. It's like,
It was long.
it was.
It's long. but
Interesting.
It's good.
It's
Interesting.
Yeah.
You guys probably travel quite a bit. Where's your favorite place to travel?
Italy.
All right, high five all around. Same for you?
Yeah, we really like Italy. I mean, we go to Hawaii back once or twice a year, but yeah, the real travel is Italy.
Portugal, though, is close second. Portugal was
Portugal's
cool.
a close second. Yeah,
That's cool.
Yeah.
Good food there.
And just kind of wrap up. Tell us about your kids. I know you got 4 kids. Tell everybody who they are and where they're at.
We got Lily, and she's in Tennessee. Her husband's in law school at University of Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have Charlie, and he goes to UVU, and he's graduating in film. And I have Max. We call him Maxie, and he is in Nicaragua. And then Cy is our baby, and he goes to Torrey Pines. I don't know.
They're all great kiddos. They're all amazing. So just kind of wrapping up, it'd be fun to just kind of hear just your brief thought. Who's Jesus to you?
Jesus is he's like my brother, my I don't know, I think of him as like your best friend, someone that loves you no matter what.
I like that.
Unconditional, yeah.
Thank you. How about you, Dave?
Jesus is our Savior. It's I think the older you get, you start seeing people around your age that are just your age or younger that have passed away and stuff. Is he becomes a bigger part of your life as you get older, and he's our Savior. He's our he's going to be the one that helps us all the way. Without him, we're all hosed. So that's what I would say. Yep.
That's cool. Well, thank you both for taking some time today. I know it's not always super fun, but it's fun for us to learn a little bit more about you and your family. So thanks for making some time.
All right. Thank you. It's great. Appreciate it.